That's right.
That's crazy.
Hey y'all, this is Ryan Monso, and this is Cats, the Cougar Afterthought Show from GoCougs.com. That's Brad Towns. Brad, thoughts?
That was a beating. Welcome to the Big 12. Are we doing that again this year? We're kicking off our Defending the Crown tour, and that's exactly how you need to do it. Road games are always tough in this conference, so you'll take a beating anytime you can get it. This looked phenomenal. I'm really, really proud of Juwan. He stepped up in a massive way. It's a guy that we talked about that we really needed to come through, and he did.
I feel like I've read a lot about Juwan being gone, being over the hill. Are you saying that's not true?
No.
No?
No.
Who knew?
If he was, he's
Okay.
back. He came back.
Juwan, not dead. Nice guy. Fun guy. Saw him after the game. In a good mood, as you could imagine. I don't think he was your player of the game, though. I think Milos Uzan is your player of the game. Milos looked
Playing phenomenal, too.
so much more comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
And I asked LJ after the game about how Milos played. I think we will have sound of that in just a bit. But I was really impressed with his play tonight. It necessarily not, the shooting or the assist or anything. Just played very, very well. Oh, there's the other guy.
Uh-oh.
You ready?
Here we go.
There you go. Galen Robinson.
Fellas.
Okay, so we're just talking about how bad Juwan was tonight. Do you want to add to that?
Fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Can't stand that guy.
Yeah. Before we get started into the game, since Homeboy's here, we got a drop coming on the 1st. That
Absolutely.
Houston Strong. There's Alan Bishop and the kids wearing the kids have a hoodie before I do, but whatever. I'm not bitter. I mean, good for them. So that's coming Wednesday? Is that true?
Whatever day the 1st is. I haven't even looked that far ahead, Ryan. Not even gonna lie to you.
I like your style.
Galen got in the game tonight for Birmingham. Scored first time down. Gets goaltending on the second time down. I believe the third time down, you got an and one, and all of a sudden you got 7 points in three possessions, and then it didn't go as great at the end.
Yeah.
But you played well to start. From what you've seen of this game, I know you played, but any thoughts?
Hold on.
Okay.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought obviously we played well. We were able to pull away at the end, but I thought before we were able to kind of go on that big run, I felt like it was kind of like an awkward game. And I feel like we kind of got a. I liked Los. I like his mindset tonight, but I feel like our guys have to do a better job of not fouling. And it's just I don't know if this is just a whenever you play for Houston, but it's just like you don't want to give who you're guarding anything, so you might swipe and you might um, get unnecessary fouls just because you don't want to give up anything. But it's just like when you're so tall, you're long, just all you got to do is just put your hands up, and it's like that's a hard shot to make over somebody that's just vertical. You don't got to swipe, so it's just like I just feel like our guys they have to have a better grasp of like y'all aren't easy to score on anyway. But other than that, I felt like we did what we were supposed to do.
It was your first road game of the year, and I think that kind of gets overlooked. You just have not done this, and you come to a fairly difficult place to play. The crowd wasn't great. They were not in it at all tonight.
Yeah.
But, you had to go on the road for the first time, and I think the game was a little fast for them early, but they got it into a pace that they could control, and they dominated. 10.5 minutes to end the first half without an Oklahoma State field goal. I think it went to 12.5 total. You just completely took them out of the game. And it's not like you ran away with it offensively. You didn't shoot the three very well. You only attempted 6 free throws, which is pretty hard to do. Went 6 for 6, though. So, there you go. There's a lot of Oklahoma State players on the floor still completely dressed. It's so weird. It's been a while, guys.
Man.
They had 3 starters who went 0 for tonight. They combined to go 0 for 15. That is not what you want from your starters.
That's going to be hard, especially at home. You're not going to beat anybody, let alone in Big 12 play.
Yeah.
And I don't think any of their guys who average double figures, I don't think any of those guys got double figures tonight. So that was also a pretty cool defensive display from our guys.
Shout out to Jamie Hollingsworth, who completely nailed his scout. Word for word, had this exactly scouted out perfectly.
That's something new. He does it every game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he nailed this one. Let's hear some stuff from Kelvin and LJ. This is Kelvin, his first comments in the press conference after the game.
I mean, obviously, we had a game plan from the get-go. Was to get into him, get the ball to him, and see how they were going to double him, where they were going to bring their help. First half, we left the help on the ball side, thinking they would double and we could kick it out for threes. And then we started cutting him through and bringing the other guy over. And as that action was occurring, it allowed J1 a little more freedom. But J1's, he's played on Final Four teams and Elite 8 teams, Big 12 champion, American. I mean, he's done nothing but win. He's the winningest player in the history of University of Houston. So no surprise there. But LJ, on a night when their guards are really aggressive, they're really athletic, really quick. I thought our execution was really good in the second half. We got the ball to where we wanted it, and then once we were able to pound it inside, then we got LJ loose off some pin downs and off of weak side ball movement. But the guy I was most proud of tonight was Uzan. He's playing the schedule we played in November. When he's still trying to figure out who we are and how we want to win and how is it we've been successful here. We're up 4 on Alabama in the last 3 minutes. We're up on Auburn. We're up 11 against San Diego State, and we found a way to lose all those games. But I think sometimes there's some resolve built with these kids that that they can grow from it. But failure's never final. It's part of the process. Nate Oates is a good friend of mine. I think.
Yeah, I didn't want to hear about Nate Oates, so I stopped recording.
Yeah, I didn't hear a single thing. I didn't hear a single word.
Galen, did you hear it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Well, Brad's an idiot. You know what he said, Brad? He said Star Pizza.
That he
Tomorrow, world famous buffet at lunch. Get you some.
And for those who like to go out on New Year's Eve, that's a good way to fuel up right there.
did. No.
Got to carb
Sure
up.
you don't go out on an empty stomach. Grab that for lunch. You're good to go.
There you go. There are a lot of people, a lot of dudes with mullets here. And like every one of them, I'm like, is that Mike Gundy? But it never is.
What age range are those? Is it older? Is it college kids? Like who's
30 to 50. There's not a lot of college kids here.
Mm.
There are a lot of high
Stillwater
school
natives.
kids here.
Mm.
Yeah. But not a lot of college kids here tonight. But whatever. Who cares?
It's all coming around. Like the ladies these days have the old mom jeans that are pulled up to their rib cage. And,
Oh, boy.
I just don't. It's like style eventually comes around. So that means if we're in that mom front butt jean stage with guys with mullets, what's coming
What the
next, man.
fuck are you saying?
You know what's coming next? The hammer pants.
Oh. Boy, I thought you were going a whole different direction on this.
What?
We're going
I thought you were going to be talking about ladies' parts, and I did not.
No, I'm talking about clothes. So
Okay.
hammer pants are coming back. Rayons are going to be in fashion again. Might have to open up a new oak tree in a mall somewhere. What is past is prelude.
Shout out Towns, man. Shout out Towns.
Retard. Moron.
Mm.
Brad, why don't you walk us through some comments?
I have some queued up.
Excellent.
Nice victory. 10 straight openers. I'm going to assume that's how you finished it out.
Yeah.
Is that our 10th straight conference win or conference opener?
Sounds right.
Happy for J1. Never doubted him. I knew he'd be fine when we needed him to be, and will be going forward. That's the J1 that we've known for years, and it's really good to see him. And it doesn't really have anything to do. My appreciation for what he did tonight doesn't have anything to do with the fact that he just caught fire. He missed his first two shots, and then rattled off like 9 of 11 from there. But the fact that we clearly had the game plan that we were going to go inside, and J1 and JoJo were going to get the bulk of the focus. And I think that paid off, one, because we finally did start scoring. I think we started 1 for 7 at the rim down low with those guys. With Jevier had a really nice shot that I don't know where he was throwing that shot, but it was interesting nonetheless. But it was great to see we took the game through him, and he responded. We're looking for that man on the court, and he was the guy tonight. And that's exactly the type of leadership that we're looking for, that we've been talking about. Who's going to be the leader? Well, that's it. You just saw him tonight.
I think obviously J1 has grown tremendously, but he's the type of guy that he rises to the level of the competition that we're facing. So it's no surprise to me that he had a big game, first game on the road, and in Big 12 play. But we got a lot of weapons on our team, And it's just like, J1, he's obviously he's reliable, but it could be anybody's night on any given night. And when you can attack a team so many different ways and you have so many different weapons, you got guys probably 1 through 6 who can get you 20 points on any given night. So it's just like that is a luxury to have. And it's just like J1, obviously he's an undersized big, but he plays a lot bigger than what he is because of his quickness and his strength, and he's able to kind of outmaneuver whoever's guarding him. He got like a certain level of moxie to him, and he's able to pass out of. If he gets doubled, he's a willing passer, and he's able to make the right play. He has great patience. So it's like I'm actually watching him in the second half. I was really proud of like how much he's grown as a player.
I think when he has that patience, he's just a smarter player than the guys he's going up against. And tonight he showed it. He took his time on a couple of shots, whereas JoJo might have chucked one up. He took his time, waited for the defender to pass, and then laid it in behind him. Really happy to see something like that.
That's just a veteran guy, man.
Yep.
Veteran guy.
For sure. Brad, go ahead.
Hey,
If
you know where I'm going.
If Juwan were an item on the Star Pizza menu, what would he be? And you're wrong, by the way. I don't even know what you're going to say, but you're wrong.
Man, I'm gonna have to go with just like the tried and true big old pepperoni pizza.
That's what I'm talking about, Towns.
I mean,
that's what I'm fucking talking about.
I thought
the same thing.
He's just classic, consistent.
Consistent. You know what you're gonna. Man, goddamn, man.
He's just a guy that when you need him to, when you feel like you really need something to go right, you go to J1. That's your pepperoni pizza right there. It's always going to be good.
Couldn't agree more. That was a great question.
That is a great question.
Ryan, what do you think?
I think pepperoni pizza is a good answer.
And everybody likes pepperoni. Everybody at least likes it. Some people love it, but everybody at least likes it and respects it.
Most of the time. Some people don't like it.
Well, if they don't, then they should. They've got problems.
A glaring minority.
Very much so. I think that's a fair answer. I think that works. Cheese pizza would work. I had Marco's pizza last night at a 3-year-old's birthday party, and not a fan. Not a
Never
fan.
heard of it.
Marco's? I think it's more of a suburban thing. I don't think they have that in the Heights.
I don't know what goes on outside the loop.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Cougars RN. Shout out to that guy.
That guy.
Registered
There
nurse.
you go. Could be his initials.
Jamie says, "Thanks, fellas. I'm on Twitter tonight instead of Facebook. Woohoo! You're
I
doing
wonder
all
why.
kinds of fancy things in that new car.
No.
I just assume you're not driving around.
No.
Or he's
No,
got
no,
one
no.
of his
No, no,
40
no.
screens on.
No. Halftime thoughts. Okay, there you go. I'm watching this game in an RV park.
ESPN Plus.
He was driving from Biloxi yesterday, and we had some scheduling issues with editing his piece, but it ended up great. And now he's in an RV park, and that poor bastard. I mean, good luck, bro. I don't know how you're doing it, but that does not sound ideal.
Just because the sky is clear doesn't mean there's not a tornado just waiting for you to walk out the door.
Yeah. JoJo was an 8 on the Breon Brady scale tonight. The fouls didn't come early. That's the Breon Brady scale. Is before that first media timeout. How many do you have? And he didn't have a half dozen or so. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to be on the Brady scale, you got to be 2 to 3, or at least 2, and probably 3 no calls.
Yeah.
just because the ref is like, I can't foul this guy out before the
Yeah.
before the timeout.
Oh man, that's funny.
I want to play.
JoJo fouled a dude with his face. He almost
did.
got knocked out. Like, son, what are you doing? Oh
Yeah.
man.
But
He
is,
fouled.
outside of that, he's just a menace.
Yeah, facts.
He really is. He's still got to find a way to control it and harness it. And I don't know.
It's just make the offense make a tough shot. That's it. It's like, bro, if they score on you, you ain't got to take everything away. If they score, cool. Because 9 times out of 10, you're probably helping anyway. Just you're 8 foot, like you got an 8 foot arm span, bro. Just put your hands up. You ain't got to do too much. And you'd be surprised at how many guys will miss bunnies just because you're there.
Do you know what they shot on layups tonight?
I heard it was bad on the
3 of 22.
Holy good gosh! You know,
Kelvin talked about it after the game and said, "That's not our defense. That's just bad luck." I mean, you can't miss. They were a little faster than they needed to be at times.
yeah.
But I mean, they airballed a couple of those layups.
Oh yeah, they were. I mean,
That ain't
if
great.
we weren't on the court, they would have shot a better percentage.
I mean, they literally had some where they go up and lay it off the glass, and it would bounce 3 feet away
Straight
from the rim. It wouldn't even touch the rim. Like, how is that possible?
It's just
But,
like
you know,
when
I'm
nothing
one
is
who-
open.
I love watching teams get out and run, and they are exciting until they get to the business end of actually running. But they end up running themselves out of the game. Their tempo,
Yeah.
just because you beat a team down the floor doesn't mean you got to try to score every time.
Yeah.
You know, every once in a while you might want to at least get a solid
Good
look.
Yeah.
And once you
Yeah.
miss 10 in a row, you might want to maybe think about trying something different.
Isn't it their head coach is his first year, right? Steve Lutz.
Yeah.
So
For
he's
them.
probably trying to get his culture and his foundation laid. But it's just like Coach Sampson used to always say, there's a difference between playing fast and playing in a hurry.
Yeah.
If you're playing fast, you could be under control, but if you're in a hurry, you're going to be kind of all over the place. So I feel like, it's probably their first test against a team who guarded as good as us, even though they played a good schedule. So something for them to, look at and, just see like, damn, these guys are really good at what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's where you learn there's levels to this game.
Yeah, levels to this defensive shit, to this guard shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Surprised that Arsenault had 18 minutes but no points. So I think there's a couple things to this. Number one, I think he put a little pressure on himself because this is his first Big 12 game. He didn't play in the Big 12 last year.
Yeah.
And he just looked out of sorts. I think you get home against BYU, and JoJo and Terrence Arsenault are guys to watch. I think they could both have really nice nights or afternoons against BYU.
I mean, same thing with E-Man. It's like sometimes it's just not your night.
Yeah.
But that's why you have teammates, because you can lean on those guys whenever it's not going your way, and you don't take the lead.
You're a great teammate too, because
for sure.
I have the perfect sound about JoJo, Emmanuel, and Terrence.
Well, three of our best players. I mean, Tugler's a good player. So is Arsenault, and so is Sharp. All three were in the witness protection program tonight. We didn't get anything out of those guys, and they're really good players. Francis, sometimes he's got that little Gumby thing going with his post moves where they're a little elongated. But I thought we did a good job of handling their press, and but we had a lot of really clean looks, and so did they. They missed some layups and we missed some open looks, but both teams were trying real hard. Both teams were playing hard. We felt like coming in we could guard them.
I'm a fan of any time Kelvin says something and Jawan just starts shaking his head.
The witness protection program. He still says that. That's crazy. Couldn't find him.
Old people say the same thing year after year, Galen. You're going to learn.
Oh, yeah, I learned a long time ago. But, it's just, that's not going to be a nightly thing. And, we got the type of team to where we're not relying upon one or two guys to, granted, there's a hierarchy, but we have a lot of weapons on our team, and you never know whose night it's going to be. So it's just like Oklahoma State, their coaching staff probably recognized the threat that Terrence was, and obviously the threat that E-Man was, and what they stressed in their scouting reports coming up to this game. And obviously they played tonight and it didn't play up to their standard, but it's like that happens. But it's just like the coaches and everybody who are watching and scouting our team, they know the type of guys we have, and they know the type of impact that they can have in any big game.
Okay.
I like after when I speak, both of y'all shake y'all's heads. It makes me feel good, man. I'm like, I really know what the fuck I'm talking about.
You do. You do.
Sometimes.
And see, with those guys, this is going to be a team where whatever the other team is trying to take away, other guys are going to have a chance to shine. And tonight, from the get-go, tonight was all about getting the ball to the paint, get it, feed the big man, and see what he's going to do with it. And then, then you've got LJ and Los just hitting everything. So there wasn't a lot. There wasn't a lot for other guys to really inject themselves into the game. So at that point, that's when you got to figure out the other things that you can do to contribute to winning.
And that's why
you do the small things.
Coach, he says, whenever you can not turn the ball over, rebound, and play defense, no matter where you're playing, whether it's home or where you're neutral, you're going to always give yourself a chance to win. You're going to always be in the game if you're able to do those three things on any given night, because you can't always rely on shot making. And it's just like, as good as of a shooter as LJ is, there's going to be some nights when those shots don't fall. So it's like, when those shots don't fall, what do we have to do in order to win us a game? And we got to rebound, take care of the ball, and we got to defend.
Kelvin said after the game that, there's a lot of coaches with pretty offenses that are sitting at home unemployed.
Yeah.
But those guys that have really good defenses, they're not employed.
You know what's funny?
They got jobs.
You know what's funny, Ryan? I got our head trainer. His name is Joe. He's the Iowa State guy. So we'll be talking about like college basketball, and like it'll be games. Where he'll be like, "Houston play today?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "What's the score going to be? 30-20?" I'm like, "Shit. As long as we got 30 and they got 20, shit, as long as we win, that's all I care about." That defense, man. It don't care about nothing else but stops. And if you can defend, you're gonna always give yourself a chance.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Iowa State is going to win.
Defending
at Colorado.
It says so much more about the character of your team, because for the most part, defense isn't fun. It's not a lot of fun unless you're a shot blocker. Shot blocking's fun, but if you're out there having to break down and really stick to somebody that can actually move, that's not real fun.
I don't know, man. I think it's like whenever you got a
but see, you're different, man. You're a different breed. So.
I just yeah, maybe.
What kind of dumbass says that defense isn't fun to this guy? Who says that?
That's just like just knowing that, you know what, I'm guarding the best player. He's in charge of. He makes everything go, and I'm gonna stop him. Like that is like. That's everything. Like that's crazy. But I mean, I get what you're saying. A lot of guys they don't probably have that mindset because they can't really defend. But obviously in our program, our guys have a similar shared type of DNA. So it's just like getting stops. There's a lot of joy to be had in that.
Well, that's why certain recruits are attracted to U of H. It's those guys with that kind of mentality. And those guys with that kind of mentality are usually the guys who are going to be grinders in practice, guys who are going to be grinders in the weight room, the guys with that different mentality. Because I'm telling you, most of college basketball, defense is just an annoyance till they can get the ball on offense. You know, they want to save their legs on defense so they can go get the next Ja Morant dunk on the other end.
Yeah, that's true. And you know, the thing about it is like, let's say like E-Man and LJ, they're not making shots. Regardless if they go 0 for 10, whoever's guarding them ain't helping. So it's like just that threat alone, whenever they're having games like that, it gives J1 the opportunity to him to get the ball down low, be aggressive, make plays. It's just like there's so many ways our team can wreak havoc on the offensive end. Oh, shit. They vacuum into something, Ryan? God damn, what's going on, brother?
I don't hear anything.
I'm sure.
It sounds like you hearing some high pitched stuff.
Yeah, I'm hearing like some voices and some like sounds like a vacuum or something.
That's in your head.
You got a great mic.
Yeah, whatever.
It's picking up stuff from the other world.
Oh God,
from the other side.
Shit is that?
I mean, here's the thing. I am far. Okay?
Well,
I am not close. I'm not like around people. I am way by myself.
Is that the press area up there?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. We get taken care of very well.
That's old timey right there.
No, it's actually the opposite. Used to we were on the floor. You had great seats, and now they're like, well, we don't need you. We're on TV every day. We don't need you. You're going to the top of the arena. Which is fine, but I like to go from the floor to up here, and I don't like these big steps, these upright steps, and I am way the F up here. But it's a cool arena. Here's my view, photo-wise.
Oh, that's hard. That's a nice arena, though.
It really is. It's an old arena. It's 85 years old, but they've redone it. Lauren Sampson was telling me before the game that they redid it while they were still at Oklahoma, and they did this weird ceremony where they brought an urn out to like bless the spirits of something, and then OU beat them. And then after they had renovated, they brought the urn back out for the spirits or whatever, and OU beat them again. And so they haven't brought that urn back out.
You know what's crazy? There was no way in hell we were going to lose this game. No. I remember my senior year, we played at Oklahoma State, and Coach Sampson and Kellen, like they just took it so personal. It was like this was the only, like I remember Coach Samp said, it's like this is the only game my wife needed security. Like whenever we came to play here, like it was. I remember that film session was very, it was highly emotional. Like there was no way that Coach, like there was no way he weren't going to have our guys ready, clicking on all cylinders, ready to win this game. Like for sure. Like I vividly remember like that film session. That's crazy.
There you go. But cool place.
I like to maintain a grudge that long. See,
when you're always a winner, man, you gotta find ways to keep yourself motivated.
You gotta always have at least one.
My wife needs security for y'all. My wife needs security. Oh,
exactly.
Yeah.
There's gotta be at least a couple of teams that no matter what, you hate everything about them. You want not only you want to keep them bad.
Oh, it sound muffled a little bit, Towns. Yeah. Ryan, can you hear him?
Nope.
Check.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Wow. So you're the guy that now does that. Okay.
Hey, cool.
Yeah. Do you have a team that you feel that way about, Brad?
That's so funny that I was about to literally. Wow, that is so funny.
Yeah,
Hang
probably
the banner.
Probably Memphis.
But it's just like there's a dislike because of the great level of competition. Like I remember,
Respect.
it's whenever we played against OK State, and I think Ed Sutton was at the game, and Coach Samp in his post game, he has so many nice things because it's like, man, you can never show up in this building unprepared because you might get embarrassed. So there's like a healthy respect and competition that you are able to acknowledge. And it's just like I feel like that's just the beauty of sports in general.
Okay.
That's always
Sounds pretty.
That's just always his transition. He's like, okay.
It's funny. One of my teammates, he went to Memphis, and I remember I think we had beat him, and we got into like this little internet dispute, and we were just throwing shots or whatever. But it's just like me and him, like we're cool now, just because it's just like, man, I know the cloth y'all cut from, the cloth I'm cut from. Like there's such a mutual respect there. Like it's actually pretty cool.
But
I like that you say
still hate their
internet dispute.
Internet dispute, yeah. Internet dispute. That's all.
Or the wieners on the court. Okay. What are we laughing at?
Ryan, I just want to know what makes you say
Ryan's
certain
fish
things.
dicks reference.
Well, I mean, they had wieners on the court. It's just not a dispute.
Well, they got to be fancy. It's Memphis, man. The most overrated, mediocre barbecue on the planet.
Boy, you're not kidding. I had an argument about this at Christmas, and somebody was like, "Oh, it's not so bad."
That's a poor scale. It's not so bad.
Yeah.
How do I look? Your face not so bad. It's like, damn.
It's not worse.
Not terrible.
That's crazy. But one thing I feel like I can say is just the value of experience. And, our guys, the majority of our group, they've played in a Big 12 game. But I feel like one edge that I feel like Lowe's had on Jamal is this, like, he's had Big 12 experience. So it's kind of, what to expect, what the level of competition is going to be, and what the environment is like. So it's just like, I just feel like our team, I really do feel like we're battle tested in so many different ways, and our experience, regardless of who it's against, and if it's a big game and it's crunch time, I feel like this time of year, our experience is going to be very beneficial to us and help us win a lot of close games.
Oh, yeah.
That's hard. I can't even lie. That's hard. That's
well,
hard.
Yeah, no kidding. 2 of them.
That's hard.
I don't know if hard means what I think it means. Does it mean like
hard? Hold on.
Does that
hard
mean
means
terrible?
That's really nice.
Oh,
that's like
cool.
That's a very cool. Yeah.
It's one of the few times you and me are going to disagree because I think it looks like trash.
But those are the type of environments that you want to play in. You feel like everybody's against you. It's just you, the staff, our supporters.
Oh yeah.
Y'all against everybody, and it's like to go on a road game and win in an environment like that. It is literally the most invaluable thing. It's priceless. It's
just
priceless.
See a whole arena.
Just all them folks leaving mad as hell.
Oh yeah,
sending you DMs and sending you like it's beautiful feeling. Beautiful feeling.
And that they're going to walk all the way to the car and they're not going to say a word. And they're just going to sit there and just shake their head. Damn. They did it again. They did it again.
It's beautiful, beautiful.
Memphis is the sausage and pepperoni pizza of college basketball.
No,
It
they're
should be good.
They're the ham and onions.
That's a terrible combo, bro. Challenge, you're despicable.
The Maryland is pepperoni, onions, and Canadian bacon. It's fantastic.
They don't have a pizza that's served that can be described at Star Pizza. I mean, they're like I don't even want to say Totino's because Totino's is actually good.
Brad's secret is out.
Oh man.
They're like the lunch lady pizza from
Wow.
grade school.
The fact that
Okay.
you thought about that, you were in grade school a
Yeah.
long time ago, brother.
Long time ago.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's still a rivalry game for the Sampsons. 100%. It always will be.
Those dudes don't let Kellen and Coach Samp, they don't let shit go. It is
No.
It is smoke
No.
on site every time. I'm not gonna forget. I appreciate it. I appreciate that about those guys. It's the same energy will be maintained.
Well,
regardless
it
of
could
where
go
I'm at.
two different ways, right? It could go, they don't let things go and it interferes, or they don't let things go, which makes them better. And that's where they are.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like what Coach Sam used to always talk about, like fear. And he was like, well, exists a thing called like a healthy fear. And it's just like, I feel like the grudges they hold is more so competitive and you want to kind of give your team the best preparation they can get to give them the best chance to win. So I feel like that's what those guys have.
I'm good with that. I think that's a good thing to do. I don't think we did we didn't play the sound of LJ, right? I want to play this because I asked him about Milos and the growth that he's had, and I really liked what he said here. LJ, how would you describe Milos's improvement and his growth since he got here?
I mean, I feel like he's getting tougher each and every day. We do a good job of holding them accountable as players, and Coach does a good job holding them accountable in that aspect. So just being tough and playing with confidence, I feel like he's understanding the system more. He's not looking over his shoulder whenever he does something wrong. He knows he has complete freedom out there, so it's just about him going out there and trusting his work, and I think that's what he went out there and did tonight.
Coach LJ, thank you for your time.
How important is it for a point guard to have that trust from your head coach?
You asking me?
Well, I'm not asking the other guy.
No. I mean, Brad has a lot to say. He has a lot of good things to say, but I'd say it's invaluable. And I'd say also what helps him is that what helps Los is he's surrounded by a group of guys that's been there. So there's a standard that they can hold him to because of what they've seen and what it took to get there. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that's one of the blessings of having a veteran type of group of guys is that you're able to aid and assist the growth of guys who come in. And it's just like, this so happens that, Los, he's playing the most important position on the floor. So it's just like his mindset and how he approaches everything, it's paramount. And like I said, whenever he's aggressive, whenever he's decisive, I feel like he was at tonight. Whenever he's in that mindset, it does wonders for our team because our guys can see the body language that when you're decisive and confident, you can see that, and our guys feed off of that. So it's just like whenever he's clicking, whether he makes those shots that he shoots, if he would have went 2 for whatever he went for tonight, our guys, they can see his body language and his mindset, and they'll feed off of that.
The one part most fans heard tonight was Kelvin yelling. My favorite part of the game was Samson yelling, "Shoot the ball, Milos," so loud we could hear it on TV. You could hear it up here. I think there was another word in there. But
yeah, sure. But whenever you're getting told that, and all of your teammates, they're telling you that, and your head coach is yelling that on television, it does something for your confidence, because I feel like it serves as a subtle reminder that, well, maybe not subtle if coach yelling that, but how important you being aggressive is to our ceiling as a team. It's very much reassuring, and it's just like there's no doubt, Jamal was great, and obviously Los isn't Maul and Maul ain't Los, but he's gonna get there. I'm a firm believer. I really do believe in this kid, and whenever his mindset is whenever he's aggressive and whenever he's decisive, he's fun to watch.
Another thing Kelvin said tonight was, "Are we supposed to be great tonight?" Meaning game 1. No, we're supposed to be great in March. And it's very important to him that they continue to get better. But it was a huge deal that Milos kind of put it together tonight. It really feels like the first game where he's had everything kind of going the right way. Go ahead, Brad.
I think the thing that stood out to me of what LJ said is that he's not looking over
his shoulder for sure.
And I think, because we've talked a lot about that going back a few years now. We talk about that in football as well. But when guys to play your best, you have to play
free
on the edge of kind of controlling chaos. And to do that, you have to go and you have to do what is natural to you. And sometimes that's going to produce magic, and sometimes it's going to produce something that looks really, really bad. If you've got the freedom to not look if you either have the freedom to not look over your shoulder or the ability to not even worry about that, that's when you can truly thrive. Like if you see last year, Arsenault had that at the very beginning. Damian Dunn had that all year long. He was always looking over his shoulder. They were
correct.
They were guys who were playing to not make a mistake, so they could stay on the floor, as opposed to going out and succeeding and playing with that edge. And I thought it was important, or I thought it was great that LJ said that, because that's exactly what Los looked like tonight. He looked free, he looked loose, and he looked like he was playing naturally and playing his style of basketball, as opposed to, am I doing the right thing? Am I going to the right spot? Am I passing it to the right? I don't want to hog the ball, but hey, I got this open shot. He just let it rip, and that's when
I feel like. Oh, my bad. What you saying? Tom, my bad, bro.
No. When all these guys get into that, when TA gets there, and when TA is playing like that, those guys are unstoppable. And so, with the way that Kelvin builds towards March, you're going to see a focus of each one of those guys getting to that level to be able to play that same way once we get into the real money games.
And Los and Tia, they're gonna be playing together for a minute. But Ryan, what you said about he's like, are we supposed to be great tonight? That's kind of the standard that our program has created. Is actually greatness. It's just like winning in a convincing fashion, and whenever it's not convincing, it seems like there's something wrong. But Coach Sampson used to always say, like, Los is important as he is. He's the starting point guard on this team. So that's the most important position that on our team. And it's just like, let's say next year, or the year before, whatever, like Los, let's say Los is the only new guy. If you have one new guy, you have a completely new team. Coach used to always say that, because you have to adjust to the guy that was just added. So it's just like, well, if you have one new guy, whatever, like it is a completely new team. You have to coach that team differently. You have to adjust to that team's personnel because there's one guy that's different, and it's just like the guy that might have been in this position prior, he's gone.
I read some things earlier in the year. Well, U of H is returning 4 starters. Why doesn't it look like last year? Like, yeah, okay. That's 4 starters. Yeah, that's true. I do think it's a different personality, and it's a
different leadership style.
I mean, even if it wasn't a consensus All-American, even if it was a mediocre player.
Not mediocre, but go continue. My bad.
But I mean, even if you're replacing the 5th best starter, you're still. I mean, it's still a whole different communication system, a whole different level of confidence in that guy. I mean, it's a big deal. And when you replace the point guard and then the national or a consensus All-American, the Big 12 Player of the Year, the Naismith Defensive Winner, it's a big damn deal.
Very much so. Very much so. You know,
That's all I have.
You got to coach. You know, Maul, he was a 4-year guy, so there's things that he was able to learn and things that he was taught and he was able to watch other guys do, and he was able to grow in that role. But let's say, like, for example, with J1, because we've kind of grown accustomed to him, and we probably take for granted what he does on a night in and night out basis.
Yeah.
So let's say the next 4-man we have, it'll be like, damn, well, why should do this? It's like there's a certain level of growth, equity, not like there's a lot of hours that goes into making the right play, a lot of film that goes into making the right play, a lot of all that stuff, a lot of repetitions and all that. So it's just like you kind of can't take that thing for granted because a lot of work is required to get to that level. And it's just like with Jamal, he definitely spoiled us. But it's just like you said, it's like you got to talk to Los different than you talk to Jamal because Jamal, he was there for 4 years, whereas Los is his first year and the stakes are just as high.
Mm-hmm. Well, and like you also highlighted earlier, there's a difference between playing fast and playing in a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
And our guys at the beginning of the year, we were playing in a hurry way too much. But now it seems more in check. It's like it's weird to say, but you hear it all the time, especially like in high pressure situations. But you got to go slow to be fast.
Okay.
Very much.
I mean, you hear it a lot you hear it in sports, especially on the baseball side. And you hear it a lot in the military. But what it basically is that you've got to focus on the basics before you can get out of control.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way JoJo plays, and that's the way TA played. And you see how far he's come now that he kind of lets it get into the flow.
If this is your first time watching us play tonight, and you watch JoJo, and then you watch J1, you could easily see that this guy's probably older. Just the poise, the maturity, the moxie, the clever, is the surety of himself. It is. It's oozing out of the TV screen. Like it's truly remarkable to watch.
I agree with that. I think you're right.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah.
I think
I don't think
I'm
you're
right
wrong.
too.
As y'all keep mentioning, our program seems to rely a lot on experience and knowing the system. Wonder how that changes as we keep getting these 5-star one-and-done guys. Well, I don't think they're mostly one-and-done guys. They're 5 stars, but I don't think Kingston Flemings is coming in here 1 year and leaving. That's just me.
I mean, the thing about it is, granted, we have experience on the floor, but we also have experience in our coaching staff, in the gymnasium, like even with the managers, so it's just like whenever like a 5, let's say like a Kingston Flemings, you can sense the environment. So let's say like E-Man's the only E-Man TRs, whatever. They're the guys that are kind of kind of establishing the culture because the winning pedigree that this program is at right now is like you're going to want to rise to that because of not only who you are but because of what you're a part of. So it's just like, granted, we have that in abundance now, but whenever we have the guys who we're at the stage now where we're getting 5-star recruits, which is fucking crazy, and fucking multiple 5-star. That's Ryan. That's fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. But it's like those guys, they're used to a certain standard as well. So it's just like you want to prove that you are who everybody thinks that you are. So you're going to get on board.
I think people see Jarris and think that all the 5-stars are going to be one and done. I just don't think that's going to be the case for Kingston Flemings, Chris Senack. Flemings has a lot. He has to grow into his body. He's still kind of a small guy. Galen talked about being on the floor with him. And
that was Kingston. That was Kingston.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Kingston.
Who is that? Who did I just say?
You said Chris Senack.
Okay, but Flemings, and he's gonna have to get Milos off the floor to play.
Yeah. But
and I think he's a 2-year guy at minimum. I don't think that's a one and done thing.
I see that, but he's.
But that's a great problem to have.
Yeah, for the side, like he's he's about 6'2.5", maybe 6'3", strong kid, Ryan, but he can jump over the moon.
Yeah.
So when you got that type of athleticism, that type of at that position, Ryan, I'm not joking when I say this. Like when you think athleticism with Kingston Flemings, you think of Ja Morant, Russell Westbrook, Derrick Rose. Think of those guys because he has that type level of he can get his chest to the rim. Like it is actually kind of crazy to see. And it's just like with guys like that, you never know what team is willing to take a chance on just because of the fact that you have that level, that NBA level athleticism. But that's besides the point. You're right, though. You're right.
Okay, everything you said sucked, but you're right. Okay, got it.
Also, you gotta remember. I mean, I know that we get excited. Oh, we're gonna have one and done. We're gonna have one and done. I mean, Arsenal was supposed to be a one and done, allegedly.
Yeah. I mean, he had a first round grade somewhere.
One and dones usually have one thing in common. They have the obviously the skill. Skill is there, but they've got measurables that put them in the NBA, even when their skills might be like Jarris. Jarris was kind of a freak. He's a 6'7" with a body of a Charles Barkley.
Man, yeah.
I mean, he was a grown ass man at 17, and that's it. That's why he was a first draft lottery.
Yeah.
Even though you look at it and you look at his production and the way he played on the court, that didn't ring as a lottery player. But they're not drafting him because of what he's doing today. They're drafting what he's going to be doing in 5-7 years.
Exactly.
But to be that, you either have to be that one and done. You have to be that talent that's either talent that just goes and blows away everybody on the floor, or you have to have the projectable measurables.
Okay.
For sure. It's crazy. We were talking about that earlier. That's so crazy. In the locker room.
I mean, I don't. When Kingston gets compared to Derrick Rose,
that's not a stretch.
It's not a stretch, and I don't think people really remember how good that guy was in college.
I'm just talking about from an athletic standpoint.
Yeah, he's not saying he's as good.
No. I'm saying that's an apt comparison coming out of high school. But
alone when he was a freshman.
If he performs like that his freshman year, yeah, he's one and done. Because that's how good that guy was.
problem to have. Good problem to have.
Very much so.
LJ also goes slow to play fast. People were complaining that he wasn't shooting early. He still finished with 18.
Yeah. Did y'all see? You weren't there in the first half, Galen. But
his I think he was like one. He didn't take that many shots in the first half.
no, not
Correct.
at all.
Yeah.
Well,
but
what-
it's just like you're saying.
What they were doing is they were extended. Their defense was extended to cover our guard play. First thing we did, just like last year, first play was to
Big
Juwan
one.
down low, and then we went down low again, and then we went down low again, and then we kept hammering it, and then all of a sudden you see, after about 8 or 9 minutes, you see Oklahoma State backing up and showing what looked to be like either a sagging matchup zone or just a straight up 2-3 to be able to deal with Juwan in the blocks extended. That right there, they stuck with the game plan of getting the ball inside, and they worked inside out. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you got wide open shots. Start swinging it around, and then you got guys with wide open looks. And then that's when LJ really started popping off, and you could see that happen in the second half. He had all kinds of room to shoot.
But LJ, he was probably at the top of their scouting report, and he generates a lot of gravity. He's a career 40-plus three-point shooter. But throughout the course of a game, whenever the game is close, you still have hope, and you're still able to like hone in on what the game plan was. But even at the professional level, when you're not having success on offense, it interferes with your defense and how well you're able to guard, and you're locked in-ness towards the scouting report. So it's just like they weren't able to score. We're breaking them down, and all of a sudden LJ ends up getting an insane amount of open looks. So it's just like that's just kind of one of the nuances of the game. When our defense, it wears on you, it causes you to not be as locked in, and you're giving a guy like that several open looks in the second half. And it's just like, that's why I say whenever you get down, it's a long game. It's a lot of time for the opposing team to make mistakes and let you back in it, or for you to increase your lead. So it's just like, I'm glad our guys were able to stay locked in, and we were able to get him open shots, because when LJ shoots, I'm happy.
Okay. So you finished the season. You won every game in December, although you didn't play that many. You won every game at home for the year 2023. You lost 4 times this year to Iowa State, to TCU, to Kansas,
2024.
in the Big 12 title game, and then the NCAA, so 5 times this year. That's not bad. I was counting it up. I've been to games in 21 arenas or stadiums this year, basketball and football, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it means 19 road trips. And yeah, it's a lot. Like,
It's a lot of different ones in a calendar year. Absolutely.
I went to Kansas City like 4 times, and Provo twice, and Oklahoma City, the airport there, 3 times, because I played twice at OU, basketball and football, and here. And I'm really starting to learn these rental centers for the cars, and thankfully we'll just keep going to these same airports. But we appreciate everybody that watches this, that subscribes to GoCougs.com, that buys Star Pizza, that does anything to support us, because that allows me to do these things. I mean, I'd probably be doing it anyways, but it's been a lot of fun. It's been a fun year, and we're going to keep it up through the new year. Manhattan in 2 weeks, Kansas in 4 weeks, and then West Virginia, I think. I don't remember who else we have on the road. UCF. I'm not going to UCF
I just
because I
noticed
don't
that
like
you have
Orlando.
Little the little champagne flutes in the A on cats.
Yeah, we're festive.
Absolutely.
You know, we did it.
Festive as
We did
shit.
it with the Christmas tree, and now we're doing it with the.
Look at you and your clip art portfolio.
Thank you. Well, that's an emoji, actually.
Okay.
Be here for our Martin Luther King Day special. I'm just kidding. Galen quits at that point. 12th night is next. New Year's resolutions for the three of you. I'm going to learn
That's
to
a
play
great question.
basketball.
Yeah, that's a
Learn to
resolution that
play?
will never be reached.
Yeah.
Please
Do you
don't
think
do
that'll
that.
work? Oh, okay.
Please don't do that.
Don't do that. Okay.
Just watch. Just watch.
Just watch. Just watch. Okay. We're gonna have Brad. We're getting him on Ozempic. We're gonna pay for it, and we're gonna see if he can lose 900 pounds.
That would be sweet. I would do that.
Brad, you're an idiot.
Be double fisted Ozempic and Wegovy or whatever that crap is.
Oh man, that's crazy.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know that apparently that stuff is really, really expensive. Maybe you'll just have to settle with meth or something.
Not a bad
That
idea.
could work too.
Shooting
I
sleep.
don't really. I've been up since 3:30, and
I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
I don't either.
No.
Um, I don't really do a lot of the.
Sleep.
Well, I don't do the sleeping, but I don't really do the resolution thing. Just be good.
My resolution
Yeah, I went-
is to swear less on
Thank
on
you.
cats.
Thank you.
I'll try to
No,
drop fewer
My
F-bombs.
my resolution is to swear more.
See, I like
Take
this
it
now.
up. Take it up a notch. God damn it.
You just
Take
pick
it
up.
up a
You
notch.
just pick up the ones I leave.
Absolutely. Team.
Exactly.
We're trying to build a sponsor base here. So,
Authenticity.
when it's needed,
It's key.
yeah, when it's needed, 100%. We had a football show when U of H was at Kansas, and Brad may have dropped 40 to 50 F-bombs. Galen just ejected. Oh, there he went. Ejected again. Maybe he's throwing his F-bombs now.
No,
And he's just doing it off camera.
He's being nice to everyone. He's going to excuse himself for a moment. Probably got a phone call. Get people.
Okay.
Important people calling about one substantial.
Obviously.
Nike wanted to buy it. Adidas bidding on it.
Uh-huh.
Kanye wants to expand his brand into one substantial.
Yeah. My first round, I think I went 1-3. The UT won that game. That I have no feel for any of it. I won't get home until I think. Is there a game tomorrow? Because I don't get home till late tomorrow, which is goofy.
Is there a game tomorrow? What are you talking about?
Well, college football playoff game.
That's a really good question.
LSU plays in the afternoon. That's the one that I'm missing. Is the LSU game in Houston?
I wouldn't say you're
Alabama
really
and
missing
Michigan.
it.
Alabama and Michigan play tomorrow, and then Penn State and Boise State. That's who it is.
Town, shout out to you, man. Kanye, I did just have to take a call from Mr. West. Yeah, but that's another conversation. I'll tell y'all about that later.
Hey,
Mitchell
Shout out to
West?
you, man.
I just want you. I want you.
Mr. West.
See, if
Oh,
you would get me,
okay.
if you would get me, a Houston shirt or a Houston versus everybody, like
Don't
in
worry,
his
Tom. We
in his
got you
video with the
covered,
big
brother.
giant shirts.
We got you covered. We got the 5X blanket coming soon. Don't worry about it, Giles. We got you covered, baby.
Can't wait. Oh, we should have a ceremony to
I wear that every single broadcast.
yeah
Real
with
one.
your robe.
Oh yeah, I
So
need to get one of those.
yeah. So that's really all I have for tonight.
I don't remember the I don't remember the Kansas post game. Is that the one where I was having my aneurysm when I was?
Yeah. You were unhappy with how the game went.
Oh,
And
yeah,
you
they,
articulated that in a certain word that you used multiple times. 4 or 5 dozen times, in fact. And, I think that's a really good resolution from you.
well, next
And
year
that'll
football
be
will be
our
a much
group
better
will-
spot.
You have no idea. You have no clue.
It's hard to be worse.
I have no clue. I'm seeing people say, 8-4 is the minimum. I was like, okay, I don't know that. If your offensive line's not any better, nothing else is going to be any better. We'll see. Towns is looking fly with that new haircut.
I
Your
wouldn't.
Polly
baby.
Walnuts.
It's not that it's new; it's just long, and so I had to push it all back because I'm going to go get it cut this week. Get it nice New Year's trim.
Mm.
My
I didn't know that was a thing.
What
Sports
barbershop,
clips.
Towns?
I
What
told you.
barbershop?
I told you. Sport clips.
Sports clips. Hey, we need to target them. We need to target sports clips for sure.
I love going in there, man. It's my good luck. It's my good luck for basketball.
Yeah, I've
Why
never
is
been
that?
inside of a sports
I don't know.
clips
I haven't
in my
either.
life.
It just worked for a couple of times. It worked in the last couple of years. I only get like 3 haircuts per year.
Brad,
And this is what it looks
show
like on the
show
tail
your
end.
side. Go to the side. Show us that. Or go to the other side. I mean, go to the side. I mean, it's right there.
Oh,
I learned it from Sun Tzu.
man. No, that's crazy.
I mean,
That's crazy.
that's a look.
That's crazy. Hey
Yeah,
man,
so
this-
it'll all be
this
it'll
is-
all be different
this
yet
is
the
our-
same.
this is
Are
our
you gonna
last
buzz it?
show of-
You should buzz it.
No, but it usually turns. It all goes forward.
Okay.
Mm.
Galen, are you going home for tomorrow or back to Birmingham
Yeah, we're going back to
tomorrow?
Birmingham.
And
Yeah.
are you going to go out on New Year's? Is that your plan?
Probably not. No,
Yeah.
I'm just a chill guy, Ryan. You know,
Right.
Yeah. I felt me and my teammates, we might like play some cards or whatever, gamble on whatever little card games we play. But other than that, yeah, we chilling.
High stakes Blu-ray.
Nah, I don't have enough. I'm not wealthy enough to play Blu-ray at all. I seen that cause a lot of damage to brothers' pockets. No, not me. Not me. At
You
all.
can start.
Okay.
It can happen by starting real cheap too.
Yeah, $1.
Mm-hmm.
$1. I done seen that cost somebody $2,000 yeah, last year. Oh yeah,
Damn.
you ain't seen me in Blu-ray. No sir, not at all.
Okay. So none of the 3 of us are going out. I'm assuming for you, Brad. Yeah.
Get too old for this shit.
Off the subject, Godfather, is there anyone brave enough to prank Coach Sampson?
You shouldn't. He always gets the last laugh.
There's no money in it.
The only prank
You
should
can't
do is
win.
a prank that only you and him know about. If it's absolutely not.
Yeah, I just don't know.
Might be a lot of sprints waiting on you on the other half of that
there's-
joke.
There's no
Yeah, nah,
there's no real win.
Yeah, it's not. Nah, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is our last show of 2024, man. I just want to say it's been a pleasure working with my guys, man. It's been truly like, I really do look forward to these shows. That should tell you the state of my life. But it's like I really look forward to doing these, man. This is like us just talking and shit. You know, that was an appropriate swear word, but
Yeah.
It means a lot, man. This
Hey,
is
you
very
know,
fun to me. Very fun.
that's what we
To
like to do.
everybody, to everybody watching, I fuck with y'all. I fuck with y'all. Heavy,
Right.
heavy.
Heavy.
With y'all, not to y'all.
No. Why would you do that? I love hearing about the professional athlete talking about how lame his life is. I think that's pretty good.
But see, you've been doing it long enough to where there's. I mean, now it's just kind of old hat. It's just what you do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So it's like it's not anything
you're
really
just going to
exciting
work
anymore. Yeah, exactly. So it's
You just
like
work nights.
Man, exactly.
Me too.
It's like, man, my feet hurt. I'm just gonna stay home. It's like, once you go out a few times, it's like, okay, now you check your bank the next morning. It's like, God dang, what did I do?
Yeah. Been there before, brother.
And where's my card?
How many things did I break? Oh my God.
Oh man.
I'm just looking at some old pictures, and we've had quite a year. We had the Muppet.
Beaker?
Love that guy. Stats by Starnes. We had a shirtless guy
Oh yeah.
with little bitty nipples. I'm always so surprised at how small your nipples are.
They are small for sure. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Rhinestone Cowboy.
Yeah.
All you need is that Glenn Campbell hat, dude. You'd be perfect. And I'm sure you had one, probably like purple. Like Little Nas X.
And no, that's your favorite thing ever, Ryan. The cool tail, bro.
Boy, you are so
love,
offended by this.
You love that cool tail.
You are so offended.
Like
It's just so weird to me.
Long thing of dookie.
I see your point.
Yeah. That way we had our intern.
Hey yo. JD and I have to have a word because that is diabolical. Oh,
I mean, it's been a fun year. And then last week, your boy
My
with his
dog,
Houston Strong.
K-Samp the champ.
So, people that subscribe to your website, that are joined to your email list, they're going to get a notification on the 1st that says, come buy this.
Well, and it'll probably include a discount of some sort. This is something that's only exclusive to the subscriber. So, this is what we do, man. This is what we do.
It sounds nice.
Very much so. Very much is.
Very much is.
Mm-hmm.
Brad's going to get him one. We're excited about that.
Yeah,
And everybody else should too.
Brad's is going to be custom. We have to make special arrangements for my guy, man, so he can, feel included.
And see, the sad thing is that whenever I do overdose on Ozempic and lose all that weight, I still have to get a 5X because my arms. I mean, I'm like a human orangutan.
That's true.
It's actually
his knuckles go way past his knees.
Oh yeah, no, seriously. I mean, I'm a perfect fit for U of H basketball because my wingspan is insane.
Exceeds your height. Yeah.
So it's always been rough to try to get shirts that fit. Usually the sleeves come to like right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
That's why I'm making the gravitation towards XL just because of the arms and the shoulder space that I get.
That's right.
I can't deal with the larges no more, man.
Yeah.
Can't deal with them.
Same here.
And then they start making them the Euro cuts, trying to make them all tight and stuff.
Yeah.
Have the TJ Otzenberger tight shirt.
I don't know about that, Towns, but I feel your struggle, brother. I feel your struggle. Yeah.
Brad, turn your head to the left.
Oh, bro. You're sick.
I just can't get enough of this. No, back to the other way. You got to go the same way as him. We're going to totally be demonetized for this episode because of that photo. We're not going to make anything off of this, but it's fine. It's worth it because that's just. I mean, it's the same haircut. It's the same wings. He also has a pinky ring. I don't know if y'all knew that. So
I don't, but I could get one. My dad had
You
one.
could.
I can get his.
why would he have one?
I don't know. My dad
Was
my
he
dad
in the mob?
That's
he was
some
a-
player
he was a
shit,
unique
man.
character.
That's some player shit. Pinky
Okay.
ring on the pinky finger.
Hey man, it was
Yeah.
dude. The '80s was a weird time, son. I mean,
It's true.
Take your word for it.
Dad rocked the perm going in the '70s and '80s.
Slick back.
I mean, it was permed like little,
Not a
little
hair
tight,
out of place.
little tight rolls. Yeah, he had an interesting look. He could rock it. I mean, he was my size, so what's somebody going to say about it? Yeah.
Exactly. I was just about to ask you, well, how tall was he? Was he anything like you? Shit.
Yeah, he played JUCO basketball at Panola Junior College.
Panola.
Pinola Junior College.
Yeah. All right, let's do final thoughts and get out of here because they're going to kick me out at some point. Brad, what you got?
Man, that's the way you start conference play. It's great to see. We answered all the stuff that we've been hoping to see from this team was showed tonight. You needed somebody to step up, and you really needed Jawan to step up, and he answered in a massive way. And this was a real breakout night for Los, which is fantastic to see. Guys were clicking, and they just got rolling and never let up. Didn't even let them really make any kind of run in the second half. About a perfect way to start the conference season as you could hope for. Now let's get back safe and get ready to do it again this weekend.
Well, I feel like our ability to attack you in a variety of different ways on offense, it can cause a lot of problems for you. And night in and night out, one thing that regardless of who's making shots, we're going to guard. We're going to play defense. We're going to play hard. We're going to compete. We're going to rebound. But there's this saying in boxing. It's called styles make fights. And I feel like the same thing is true when you're talking matchups in basketball. It's like matchups make games. So it's just like our ability to be able to attack whatever position on the floor from an offensive standpoint is what's going to help us. It's going to be kind of give us the edge on a lot of teams on top of our ability to guard and rebound. So it's just like it was a great first conference game. Let's keep the ball rolling.
That was really good, Galen.
Thanks.
I like that. Every time you hold a team to 3 of 22 on layups, I think you're going to win. So I think if you
don't
go
win,
into
you're
games
probably ass.
That should be the game plan going forward. Is just to hold teams at 3 of 22.
Just do that. I mean, why doesn't everybody do that? Are they stupid?
Right. Yeah. I mean, idiots. So I'm going to go to Kelvin. I think Thursday I'll see him probably, and we'll just hash that out. I really thought Milos Uzan. I've been saying his name wrong. I asked him when we sat down the other day, how do you say your name? Just because, the way the head coach says it isn't always the right way. So I asked him, and it was Uzan, and I've been saying Uzan. So it's Uzan. I thought he had his breakout game. Let's see if he can carry that forward. He's got 2 home games in a row now, and that's big. To build some momentum, get Terrence and get JoJo right. And, if you can hold serve at home, you're 3-0 going to UCF, and things are looking up. But right now you're 1-19. You got 19 of these things left. But I think it went about as well as you could have ever hoped for. you had to come here and get a win. Just had to happen. Factor in Samson family business. You don't forget. And Milos, he told me that this game was really important when he was at OU. Obviously, that they struggled his freshman year, but swept him last year. And he came in here, and I think he shot 6 of 15 last year, but helped them pull it through in overtime. He was 4-7 in his freshman year, and he was 5 of 10 today. So he's had a pretty good little run in this arena. And he had the kind of game that you might look back on and say that's when the light turned on. And you had that with Jamal in Wichita State 2 years ago, where you felt like he made that play late and the light turned on. Maybe this is that game for him. We don't know. But he made it happen, and it looks like it's clicking. And with what LJ said about the trust and not looking over his shoulder now, that's pretty big.
Makes a world of a difference.
So 1-0 in the conference. Cincinnati, who is 16th in the country, lost tonight at Kansas State, who's been... And then TCU went to Arizona and lost. I can't figure Arizona basketball out. I've tried. I don't get it. And Iowa State won at Colorado. I think that's going to end up being a pretty big win later in the year, because I think Colorado is pretty good, and they're going to pick off some teams at home.
I mean, the winner of this conference is the one who can hold serve at home and pick up some road wins, because every road game is a rock fight. Doesn't matter where you go. I mean, Arizona's good at home. It's tough to play there. And they're going to be up and down just because the nature of Caleb Love. I mean, they go as he does. He has an off night, it's over. He'll kill him. He'll either kill you or carry you, one of the two.
I think you have to go 9-1 at home to be able to win this league. If you go 8-2, you're not going to be good enough on the road. And so it's whoever can do that and be 500 or a little better than 500 on the road, you're going to win the conference. And U of H and Iowa State both picked up road wins, and that's pretty big. So we'll do it again Saturday afternoon. Galen, you might have a conflict, but we'll figure it out.
Absolutely.
If not you, someone else. But we like you, and you have been great. You have grown so much doing this. Like, you were okay when you started this last fall.
I always felt like I was elite.
But you have matured. No.
See, you're no longer looking over your shoulder. You're just letting it rip, man. We're just giving you the ball, and you just create, son.
If I show you video from 2 years ago when we did NIL together, you were uncertain. You were good once you started going, but
Ryan,
you were uncertain.
It was NIL, and none of us knew what the fuck was going on.
That's true. We still don't. It's 2 years later. We have no clue. There's a lot of issues going around the NIL world right now. We'll probably get into that at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, so tonight was fun. This arena is really cool. It's 86 years old or something. Instead of the tunnel, or not the tunnel, what do you call it? The bowels at Hoffines and now Fertitta.
The dungeon?
It just goes in the dungeon. It goes in a circle, so you can always find your way back. Well, this place doesn't do that. There are hallways everywhere, and they go every which way. And I took the exact same route and went 4 different ways. And I don't know how you figure it out. And there's so many different plazas and pavilions, and there's a museum. It's a weird place, but it's awesome. I really like it. It's probably behind Iowa State and Kansas at this point, but it's up there. But I'll go to Arizona for the first time. I'll go to Kansas State for the first time. I'll go to West Virginia for the first time. And then Boulder for the first time. So still some good ones coming. But this one was pretty good. So thank y'all so much for watching. We're going to have a ton of content this week. All basketball all the time right now. Galen, Brad, thank y'all so much. Great year. Good job, commenters. Good job, people watching.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Happy holidays, man. We fuck with y'all. We super fuck with y'all.
I don't even feel comfortable saying that.
I'll
This
say it
feels
right.
weird.
We super fuck with y'all. Y'all are elite.
There you go.
I'm not going to
Y'all
say it because
are
I'll
elite.
screw it up, and it'll be really dirty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck it.
All right.
We rock with y'all, man. Coug Nation, we love y'all, man. It's for the city till the casket close. We love y'all, man. It's been an honor to be a part of this platform and to just be able to, have a voice. This is Ryan. I fuck with what you're doing, man. I know I've said this once or twice or 10 times. I fuck with what you're doing for sure.
I appreciate it. And it's not what I'm doing, it's what we're doing.
You're right.
You're part of this.
You're
So,
right.
all right. Thank you so much. And